Hello, this is Chris Kelleher of the Delaware County ARES Group, W3CTK. So this is a continuation. I did a brief introduction on Skywarn and what it is. If you haven't seen that, you may want to take a look at that video first. This video is solely focused on the Skywarn Net, the control script that we use here in Delaware County, and then basically how to either run or join into the Skywarn Net. So from our website, if you go to the Skywarn section, there's another area for Skywarn Net control script. So basically, first we encourage everybody to sign up for Delco alerts. These are delivered by Everbridge, and they can send it to your email, your phone, text. They have an app with notifications, all kinds of different ways. But signing up is critical, because that way you will get the NWS weather alerts along with other alerts that are sent out by the county and various municipalities that may send out alerts as well. So very helpful for ARES members to be on those lists. Right after that, we have our feed of National Weather Service alerts. Right now, there's no active watch warnings or advisories, which is good. If there were, they would show up in these two sections. The first one is a RSS feed of them. Second one here would actually have a link to it and some more details in the description of exactly what the alert is. So when alert is issued, if it's a watch, typically we would not start up a Skywarn Net unless if it looked pretty significant, like it was getting close to the time of the event and things are appearing to line up and it's appearing like it may be a dangerous situation. Typically, the net would be started up for warnings that are issued. That's closer to, right before a storm moves through, things like that. So to start, you would first, wait for the National Weather Service watch or warning, and then you would call everybody onto the net. So basically, calling all Delaware County ARES members. Skywarn has been activated for our area. Skywarn has been activated for our area. Skywarn has been activated for our area. And then the next thing is you would read the reporting mode. So Skywarn Net is now active at 20:50 p.m. And then you could say watch mode or warning mode. And then at this point, you would go on to the introduction. So you would introduce yourself as net control. So this is W3CTK, Whiskey 3 Charlie Tango Kilo, net control for Skywarn, in contact with the National Weather Service in Mount Holly, New Jersey. All Skywarn spotters and Delaware County ARES members are requested to stand by for further information at this time. So then if there's a watch, you would read the National Weather Service has indicated there's a threat for severe weather within the Delaware County area. And then you would read off the detail of the watch. So basically the detail may have a location, may have winds of 40 miles an hour in it. So you would read that. Likewise, if there's a warning, you would say National Weather Service has indicated severe weather is occurring in Delaware County, and then read those. Once you read out the warning or watch, you would call for reports. So all Skywarn and Delaware County ARES members are encouraged to call Skywarn with reports of severe weather. When calling Skywarn Net Control, please give your spotter ID if you have one and indicate the exact location where severe weather is occurring. As I went over in the last video, we have a list of observations that are reportable to the National Weather Service. If I click on that, it actually will take me to those, and you can go through and just remind yourself here of different things that we will report. So for example, wind is reportable once it is 39 miles an hour or stronger, things like that. Rain, if we have rain over 1 inch per hour, that would be reported. Hail over any size is reported, but then there's also a category for 1 inch or 2 inch size as well. So those are the kind of observations that would be reportable. Next step is any station experiencing severe weather events, call Skywarn Net Control, W3CTK, with reports at this time. So anybody who is out there could call W3CTK with their call sign, and you would acknowledge them as net control, and then they could report whatever they're experiencing. They should give their name, call sign, spotter ID, the observation, or there could be multiple, especially if there's rain over 1 inch an hour, and then there may also be flooding. All that information plus the location is critical. So if they're at home, they can just say they're at home, or if they're out, a street address or intersection would be great. After everybody has made their reports, you can also say any station wishing to check in is listening, call Skywarn Net Control, W3CTK at this time. That way you can acknowledge other people that are on the channel, ARES members that may not be experiencing severe weather because maybe you've just issued a watch or a warning, but they can acknowledge that they are standing by and may report weather at a later time. And then after everybody has gone, you say, this is Net Control, W3CTK, clear and listening. So when a alert is issued, there are a record of the alerts on our website. So if you go to recorded NWS alerts, you can see these are the last couple that we had. September 10th, this was a severe flash flood watch, severe local storms. Actually turned out that we got just a little bit of rain with this one, but not much else. September 3rd, we had a tornado watch. Here's a couple that we had severe thunderstorm warnings for. The other thing we record is the net. So typically it might be a one-to-one. There may be a NWS alert. It gets issued, and then we start up a Skywarn Net. So you can see, we had that flash flood watch Skywarn Net on September 9th and started at 5:40. And then under here we have the Skywarn Net Report. Again, you can not only see these, but you can also filter these. So if you wanted to see just what happened during this tornado watch, you can click on that, filter it out, and here's what the reports that we had during that tornado watch. And then you can see most of them is Skywarn started, and then we had a few people check in as listening, and then it ended. There was nothing that happened with the storm itself that was reportable. If you go back to, let's say we want to see just storm reports, you can see here we had a report of hail and then a couple reports of rain over 1 inch per hour, things like that. Flooding reports. Again, a few water rescues, roads impassable, things like that. A lot of these happened with that tropical storm, Isaias, that came through the area on August 4th and got a lot of rain and a lot of flooding, and they're reported here. So this is the public website. So if you're running the Skywarn Net, you would want to go into the members area and actually create these. Now I'm logged in, so it puts me into the members area automatically. If you need to log in, there's another video on Microsoft accounts and how to set that up and get in and things like that. So in the members area, you can go into databases, and then under entry forms, there's Skywarn Net. So if you were starting a net, this is what you would fill out. Now, it looks a little complicated. It's actually only a few things that you really have to put in here. So you would click here, and this would default to the current date and time. So let's say I'm going to start it at 1800 on September 16th, and then it's issued for an hour. The group is just Delco ARES, that's required, and then the name, I would name it 9/16/2020 and thunderstorm. Let's say it's a warning. And then under net control user, you could just type in your name, call sign, and select that. If you click off reportable, it will send an email to the Delco ARES Skywarn group as well as to Skywarn and send them that. You can also put the ARES Connect link in there. Normally we don't have that created beforehand, but once that gets created, you can paste that in there and then save it. Same thing with the alert. So the alert would have a date it was issued and a start and end date. So I can say again, it was issued now, it starts now, and it ends 7. And then under subtype, you'll just match whatever the alert is. So there'll be a thunderstorm watch. So I just start typing in thunder, and severe thunderstorm watch comes up here, and just click on it. Once I do that, it knows the type is severe local storm. It knows the risk is watch. If it were a warning for thunderstorms, you might have a slight risk, or you could fill that out. You can click on the X to clear that out if you want to. Again, reportable. This means it gets sent out via email to the Delco ARES Skywarn group and to Mount Holly, New Jersey. You can put in whatever comments you want, and then since the National Weather Service issued this, there would be a link to the alert, and then you can cut and paste the alert text, which would be basically all the details of the alert. I'm going to uncheck that so no emails go out, and you can save that. And then the other thing would be when you get a report. So again, under Skywarn Net, there's a Skywarn Net Report. Again, this looks very long and complicated at first glance, but there's actually only a couple things that are needed, and most of the stuff will pre-populate. So the Skywarn Net, you would select that thunderstorm warning I just created, and then it knows that it's Delco ARES group now. Report date time, just click there and it defaults to the current date and time. It's now 1801. And then under reporter, we have a list of people in our Skywarn group, so I can just select myself here. And by selecting, it knows who, my user, my name, my call sign, spotter ID, phone, email, and it even says, I'm at my home location. Now, let's say if I called in, you could select me as the Skywarn reporter, and then say for location name, I'm at actually Radnor High School, so I could type in Radnor High School, click on that, and it changes the address to 130 King of Prussia Road, Wayne. It also populates the latitude, longitude, the links to the map, everything. So basically, you just need to select the net, the time, date, need the name and call sign of the person. Location obviously is strongly preferred to get as detailed as you can. But if you just put in a town, that would be more helpful than not having anything. That's why, though, the saved locations helps out, because everybody's home location is in here and set up, all the major areas, and if it were at an intersection, you would just type in the intersection name. The only other thing you need is the observation. So this is a thunderstorm warning, and let's say it's raining real heavy. It's it's 1.5 inches of rain an hour. So I just start typing in rain, and then here it is: storm rain rate over 1 inch per hour. Again, the type is storm, and it populated that. It also checked off reportable to NWS as well. So if I selected rain, you can see that checkbox turns off automatically because rain is not reportable to them, but rain at a rate of over 1 inch per hour is. And then under description, you could say rain rate 1.5 inches per hour. So you could type in that, type in comments as well, and then also, there's a place to put in measurements as well, but all optional, but that's there for you. Once you're done, I'm going to make sure I uncheck that so this doesn't go out and scare anybody that we're getting 1.5 inches of rain an hour when it's nice and sunny out, and just click on save. So by doing that, not only did I record the call that I got from the reporter, I also sent out an email to all the other Skywarn members of Delco ARES that's happening, and then all the details went to the National Weather Service as well automatically. So if I go back to the website, if I go on Skywarn, under net control, under net, you can see the history of all this information here. So that's basically the Skywarn Net. Here's when you're completed, so we went through creating the NWS alert, creating the net, the net reports. You can also send them, if it's easier, via email or phone as well. You don't have to use the website for that. It just helps out, I think. And then when the watch or warning has expired, or when the weather has passed by, the last step is just closing the net. So you would say, this is W3CTK, Whiskey 3, Charlie Tango Kilo, net control for Skywarn. On behalf of the National Weather Service and the Skywarn program, we would like to thank all of those working to maintain the Delaware County ARES repeaters and all of those for participating in the Skywarn severe weather nets. Please pass along any further severe weather reports directly to the National Weather Service by telephone. The Severe Weather Hotline telephone number is 1-800-523-4129. Email address is phi.skywarn@noaa.gov, and website address is www.weather.gov/phi. The telephone number and email address are only to be used to report severe weather. Skywarn Net is now concluded at 18:07 p.m. local time. This is W3CTK. Thank you. Signing off clear. So that's basically everything. That's how we would go through a Skywarn Net. So just come to the website, go to Skywarn, and basically go to the Skywarn Net Control script and just walk through this. You would see the alerts, start the net, do the intro and get the reports, and then just record everything. If you're old-fashioned, you write down call signs and call National Weather Service in Mount Holly. That's great. I have written down and use all the tools here to make it a little bit easier, and they're there for your benefit as well. So let me know if you have any comments, any questions, any suggestions on that, anyway, and thank you.